this site is incredible. So like right here is a great example. Pricing everything. You can price everything in Bitcoin, which I'll show you in a second. And so you have here, you can play with this in log scale and not log scale. You can do it in Satoshis, in fiat, everything. So this is your life getting more and more expensive if you hold in dollars. This is a median price of a home over the last 12 years. As you can see, it just up and to the right, more and more dollars to buy the same exact home. However, if you've been holding Bitcoin, the hardest asset, and again, now extrapolate this out another 10 years, or another 20, or another 50 years, these charts will keep diverging, and dollars will keep going up and up and up, as we know, because they have to keep printing currency, right? They have to keep doing this. So life is going to continually run away from the average person over time, and you're gonna have too much month at the end of your money. And then if you hold Bitcoin though, you're gonna see this continually grow as well. So watch, like as this happens, say this is now and then going into the future, just imagine this is the next 10 years. You'll see your life continuing, the orange line, continually getting cheaper as you hold the hardest asset in the world. And everything in your life gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper until it goes to zero almost. It almost goes to zero, basically. You can't tell what the difference between zero and what it's at, actually. So if you're holding Bitcoin, this orange line, your life just got cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So you were at 2,000. This is in Bitcoin, so it's not in SAT. So it's in Bitcoin. So a median price house was 10 years ago, it was $279,000 or 2,057 Bitcoin, right? If you keep extrapolating this out, you now, 10 years later, you're looking at $500,000. So you need twice as many dollars you need to go find to buy the same house. However, if you've been holding in Bitcoin the whole time, you now have 25. So you went from 2,000 Bitcoin you needed, and now you only need 25 Bitcoin. So when I saw these charts, 3-4 years ago, this is what blew my mind and really quickly helped me reverse course and understand, oh, yeah, you've got some of this Bitcoin brand, but you need to go all in. And in all in, I mean a really good chunk of my liquid net worth that was just kind of sitting there in cash, things like that. Maybe I was kind of allocating more toward gold and silver, things like that, other assets. You need to start reversing and doing a large chunk of that now towards Bitcoin actually instead, because this is the true savings vehicle, the 21 million hard cap or the 2.1 trillion Satoshis hard cap. There'll never be more than that. It's infinitely divisible, but that doesn't mean there's more pieces to it. You can't inflate the supply away. The supply that there is, it just gets more and more valuable, and you accrue more and more purchasing power. Each slice of the pie accrues more and more purchasing power over time. So these charts right here, you can go. So like I said, you can go in here. You can. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can go in here, look at Bitcoin versus fiat, Bitcoin versus precious metals, Bitcoin versus commodities, everything. Cars, equity markets, houses. It's huge, obviously, as you can see. So you can see this really, really cool site priced in Bitcoin and see everything. Like I said, houses, average new car, used car, everything. So go check this out. These are awesome sites, free to use, free to anybody, and you can start, seeing average new car. What is it priced in Bitcoin? What happens over time? So I'm going to do not in sats. I'm not going to do log scale either. So you can see this is the average. Oops, I'm going to do all. And this is, again, Bitcoin. As you guessed, if you held in Bitcoin in the last 10, 12 years, your life now becomes infinitely cheaper and you can afford more and more and more cars. Now, for the average car, takes, 2 Bitcoin for the average new car. Where before, 10 years ago, it took 2,000 Bitcoin. So again, we can keep doing this, and I should layer in fiat just to see here. So there's your life in fiat. The average car 10 years ago was $25,000, and now it is $37,000. So you got to find 12,000 more of these dollars, and hopefully your wages have gone up in that time and correlated with that, and most people's haven't. So this is where, again, when you have true money and the goalposts aren't moving constantly, the interest rate's not moving, you don't have things kind of flying all over the place and constantly in flux, you can actually plan your life, and you can actually play out the scenarios and schedule out what's going to happen in a way. I guess planning really is the best word. You can plan out exactly what it is you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. So that's the market update for today, guys. Again, there's not a ton going on, so I wanted to kind of clue you into this and as to how I look at things and frameworks of why I say Bitcoin is the best money we've ever had, because when you can have a control in your experiment, you don't have all these variables. When you're using dollars or any fiat currency, you have all these different variables. You've got, you know, bond market prices and deflation, or you got deflation and inflation. You've got debasement. You've got inflation. You've got currency printing. You've got, we're buying bonds, now we're not buying bonds. You got 12 guys in a room trying to figure out what's going on, and all these different market forces you're having to figure out. Where, you know, in Bitcoin, at the end of the day, all you have to worry about are the properties, the hardest properties that don't change. You know, mainly the one of them being the biggest in these terms, at least, being the 21 million hard cap. And your piece of the pie is all the pieces of the pie you have getting more and more valuable over time, as you can see here. When it cost 2,000 to buy a home, 2,000 Bitcoin, or 2,000 Bitcoin to buy a car, and now it costs you 2 Bitcoin to buy a car. Well, you can plan on that. You can plan on the halving schedule being every 4 years at a predictable supply up until 2,140, when the new miner reward subsidy is done. And then the whole system is working on, you know, peer-to-peer people transacting just like normal, and transaction fees, and that's it. You know, it's really simple. And again, there's other videos we can get into the specifics of that and how that works, but we don't need to worry about that right now, obviously. So hope you got something out of this. Let me know what you got out of it in the comments. Please like and share this video. And I just think it's super important. I'm gonna try to do some individual videos on these as well, and just kind of break into some of these sites, and just, again, how to use them. And I think these are just really incredible sites to see exactly what's going on, but really a visual. So many of us are visual to see, oh my goodness, I can't believe my life running away from me in fiat, and look at how cheap life gets in Bitcoin. So I appreciate you, your time and energy. It's the most important asset we have, and it's the only finite asset we have, like Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin is time, and time is Bitcoin. The only two finite assets we have. If you know of any others, please let me know what you find. And like and subscribe to the channel, and share the video, please, to someone you think might get something out of this. And we'll see you on the next one.